And here we are at the Atlantic Canada's first Seafood Industry Innovation Summit. And I got to tell you, it's been great conversation so far. I'm Alan Dale with Gale Force Winds. Jillian, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Okay, I'm Jillian MacCallum Sproul. I'm from Charlottetown, Prince Edward Island. I am the Executive Director at the BioFoodTech, which is located just on the corner of the UPEI campus. And I've been in this role for about 2 years. My background is varied. I started at what was then PEI Food Technology Center years ago when I finished university with my master's and did a lot of food safety in the food microbiology lab there. Left there, I worked in fish vaccines. We manufactured a lot of vaccine for the aquaculture industry. And now I find myself back at BioFoodTech, which is kind of that full circle moment. And now I'm really excited to be in the innovation game with the food industry.
Now tell me what BioFoodTech does. Exactly what does that facility provide?
Okay, so BioFoodTech was established in 1987 in response to be able to help the industry out with any issues they were having, potato industry, seafood industry, all the main industries on PEI. It's evolved a little bit over the 35 years. In 2008, it was rebranded to BioFoodTech, hoping to provide some support to the bioscience industry. In the last probably 20 years, the bioscience industry has also evolved in PEI as well. So the BioFoodTech kind of finds itself in that generalist space. So we can help out industry with food processing issues, product development. We have a concept to pilot to market tagline. Our facility has 4 pilot plants. 2 of them are federally inspected, so a lot of small island companies can produce using our CFI license and be able to export off island. Full food safety microbiology lab, so we support the seafood industry and all their safety testing to be able to export and ship around the world. And that's one of the things that I'm most proud of, that we can harvest all our seafood on PEI, have it tested on PEI, and then ship it all around the world, right from Canada's food island, or small PEI. So,
does a center like that exist in all Atlantic provinces, or is PEI unique in the fact that it has that one center?
So I think that it was unique at one time. I think we have the Perennia Center in Nova Scotia now, does some similar work. There's RPC in New Brunswick, does a little bit similar work. But I think in terms of our generalist title, and that we've dabbled in a lot of everything, I think we have a very unique set of skills within our facility.
So it must be interesting for you to take that offering that PEI has and introduce it to the whole Atlantic group here at a conference like this.
Yep.
And they must see great value in that.
Yeah, so I have been in my role, as I said, for 2 years. So after about 2 years, I've let everybody show me the best and the worst of what we can and can't do. So I'm really looking to take the center in the direction of that byproduct valorization. I would love to see BioFoodTech become like a center of excellence for waste valorization. Right. Our provincial, our premier has mandates to do a food waste reduction strategy for the island, and I hope that BioFoodTech can play a key role in that. So the majority of the conversations I'm having are around what technologies, what kind of spaces do I need to be in for us to become experts in that area.
Well, that's an interesting kind of niche area to focus on for sure. And it must be great to for people to understand that an organization like yours exists, that they know that I can do something with that product over there.
Yep.
I'm just not sure what that'll look like.
Yep.
And they can reach out to you. And
yeah, absolutely. We get a lot of inquiries like that, or someone will say, hey, I have a great idea. I want to make jam and I want to put seaweed in it, or I want to, something unique. So we can work on product development in that space. But then I love when I've got like a processor who says, I'm throwing away all these like vegetables every day because they're not the right shape or the right size. What can I do with all these vegetables? And so, there's options. We can look at things in that space as well. And I think the majority of funding and everybody's trends are towards that byproduct valorization, and even the language we use with seafood waste. We don't want to call it seafood waste. We just want to call it a marine ingredient. Right. So it's just an ingredient we haven't found a use for yet. So that's kind of the spaces I'm trying to start conversations in.
Wow. I'm so fascinated to hear that is such a niche lens that you're bringing to the market. I would argue that there's probably not many people are talking about the byproduct, but not many have an institution that says, okay, this is going to be our
Yes.
special area,
Yeah.
right? And I didn't realize the province was focused on it as well, so it's a near perfect match.
Yeah, and I think that like for a lot of processors, like their waste is their waste, and they're dealing with it now, and they've probably dealt with it for 20, 30, 40 years, and it's not a problem.
Right.
Right? So I'm trying to sell the concept that your waste is not a problem. I agree with you. It's not costing you anything right now, but it's an opportunity.
Right. Yeah.
Which is going to, bring those processors into the space of connecting with, we've got CMP in Charlottetown, different places. So, adding on to your production line so that it's not waste, it's just another stream of ingredient that comes off. So that's the vision that I kind of have. That's the space I would like to be playing in. So that's where I'm hoping to take the BioFoodTech.
And win-win for everybody, right? Because at the end of the day, the processor would have to pay to get that taken away, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
And here you are saying, well, hang on a second, there might be value in here. You can get paid for this. So it's win-win for everybody, right?
And I think that's key right now, though, is a lot of research has been done on this over the years. And it's been researched, and maybe it's been published, or there's a paper or report sitting on somebody's shelf, and money was thrown at it. I think for the industry to really trust that this is going to move forward, we need to be working on commercializable, if that's a word, commercializable solutions for waste or undervalued ingredients, so that when I'm saying I would like to do a project and I'd like you to partner with me, and this is your financial contribution, but at the end I'm not just going to give you a report that said wouldn't this be cool. We're going to come up with something that's can be commercialized.
Yeah.
So.
And co-located right there on UPEI's campus, great engineering program, brand new engineering program just up the road. I'm sure there's work to be done between both.
Yeah, I've had a couple of meetings with Dr. Farouk. He's crazy busy. He's very, very busy, but I definitely think that ecosystem where we're sitting right there, and then I think there's Holland College is here this week too. They've got resource. We have it all in PEI. We all just need to, get in the right pot and make the right soup, I guess.
Right, yeah. Good analogy for Canada's food audit, make the right soup. No, 100%, right? It's about beating down those silos. Everybody is in their own little silo, and showing where we can all work together. And of course, not only in PEI, but across Atlantic Canada, it's so important to be a part of this type of conversation and organizing this. You're part of the organizing group, organizing this conversation so that largely we can all benefit from things that are happening in each province, right?
Yeah, we don't all have to reinvent wheels. There needs to be a lot more benchmarking in Atlantic Canada, so that when somebody's working on something, you take the next step. And so I know it's tough in the science world, though. A lot of people are well, and rightly so, proud of their work. But I think there's value in benchmarking on what's been done in the past and taking that to the next step. So.
Well, I have to tell you, you are certainly providing a great service to Atlantic Canada. I love the niche focus on it right now. I love that the province is behind it. Everything seems to be, everybody's in that boat rowing together over there, which is fantastic. And I'm glad that you're bringing it to the Atlantic Canadian stage. So thank you very much.
Yes, awesome. Thank you.